What's happening, fellas? It's your boy Hardcorn, and we're back with more PGA Tour 05. This time we got a wonderfully rousing game of golf we got to play today against another character we can unlock. Let's see how that's going to turn out.
The Legend Tour is Reginald, Right
here on the first hole, we got fair court links today.
Getting past Reggie will be a major accomplishment.
They fail to mention that the green and the fairways are very slow on this one, so it's a very tough course right now. It's probably the toughest one I've played so far. It's got very narrow fairways, and it's got a lot of long drives as well. And the person we'll be facing today has, he's very good at making long drives accurately, so it's quite a challenge. He follows me every step of the way, but his short game is abysmal, and that's where I take the lead on.
I wandered around a while, but
next on the tee, Reginald Reg Weathers.
My boy Reginald over here. Swinging like it's nothing. Look at that drive. Right off the tee, bounces it off the hill into the rough.
Well, finding this green from there might be a problem. That's in the long stuff.
It's a very tough first hole. It's easy to get yourself in the rough. Demands a lot from you. With a 6-mile-an-hour wind coming our direction, I'm trying to hope I can overcome the rough and get it onto the green as close as possible. But sadly, that isn't true.
It's in the rough, but he should
have.
Now,
in my second shot, I'm short of the green. Reginald though stays in the rough. That's no good. That puts him on his third, and that's just to get up to the green. You really want to be on your third on this sort of hole to be shooting for par or a birdie. Here I'm going for par. Because I'm trying really to account for as much as possible with for the wind and also the slope of that, so I can get a chip in. Because getting a chip in is always much better than having to putt. Because I get a lot more power and I don't have to worry about the putting control stuff.
Miraculous shot.
And I nail it. He sits there buried in the sawgrass while I'm persevering.
This downhill long par 3 will require a long iron or fairway wood depending on the tee and pin positions. The green is unique in that it features a bunker within the green.
And another set of slow fairway and slow green. Anything that lands on there is pretty much dead in its tracks. Well, it's a par 3, I've got to watch my shot though. Because it won't exactly hit all the way there. Even in a calm wind, I got to pay attention.
4 iron's a good choice here.
From what I remember, this is a pretty fantastic lie. No, that's another hole then. It's 29 feet, and that's absolute crap. From what I remember here is Reginald gets a pretty good shot on this one.
This approach looks good.
Because it's a downhill slope going north of the pin, so it'll roll away pretty quickly.
On the green, but nowhere near the pin.
Even on a slow green like that.
Should be able to make birdie here.
Sometimes I forget the announcers are on, so I can't really commentate very well. Thanks, guys. Wow. Come on, man. It's relatively flat.
Better luck next time. This for birdie. So, David...
Well, might make about 3 out of 10 from this range. That's one of the best shots you're ever
Perfect.
likely to see.
Get a birdie and totally nail it. I'm 2 up right now for the whole match.
This hole requires accuracy on the tee shot to leave the golfer with a medium to short iron shot to the green. When not sure, it is best for the golfer to lay up and then pitch and putt for par. This is probably the most intimidating hole on the golf course.
I wouldn't say it's the most intimidating hole, because there's one later on in the match that proves to me to be a real doozy. Well, this isn't to say this one isn't a challenge either. It's an extremely narrow fairway, along with a nice
Going right where I wanted to hit it.
westerly wind, no, easterly wind. But at least it's out flat with minimal hills, so I get as few bounces as possible that send me into an unfavorable direction. And then Reginald always comes up here, manages to just beat me by inches, barely even feet. Wonderful drive.
Looks to be about 140 yards to the pin, don't you think?
Sounds about right to me. Oh yeah, this is headed for the green.
That's a good solid hit right there. Wind pushed it just right. Get it
Should be in good
alive.
shape here.
It's probably about 7 feet, or 14 feet. I'm always misjudging the distance on this sort of thing. That's probably why I keep messing up my putts. There's no
Nothing wrong with
ruler
this approach.
or designation on anything, so I gotta really vaguely guess what an inch and a
Well, could be better,
foot
but
is
it's on.
in terms of the hole or where my distance is at. And Reginald goes for the putt. Totally whiffs it.
Better luck next time.
That's a good putt right there. 8-inch right, 2-inch long. That's within the about a foot area of the pin. It's very hard to mess up,
Good, that's good value.
because then it'll fall in the leeway area of the hole, which is fantastic. Takes a lot of the guesswork out.
After 3 difficult holes to start with, the golfer is faced with a long par 4 where the fairway is wide and the front of the green is open.
They have the camera pan in at certain points. You can see the club be given to your character, and there's nobody giving you your club at all. It just it spawns in, floats towards you, and your character picks it up. That's in the Coeur d'Alene video on one of the shots where the camera's approaching. I forgot to mention that.
Looks to be safely in the fairway. This should do the trick.
From what I remember, Reginald beats me on this hole, because I misjudge a distance on something, and he's able to get, I think, like a birdie, while I get par.
I'd say about 190 yards to the pin.
Got it right on.
And we got a nice headwind going on, so I lose about, I think, 20 yards on the drive.
Looks good. Should be safely on the green.
And there you go, see in the corner, I'm just totally mashing that Z button to give it as much spin as possible.
Looking at a very long putt after this shot.
50 feet. That's tough even for the pros.
Should be safely on the green.
That's where Reginald excels at. He's got insane
We're gonna be
drives.
putting, so it's not
Like,
a
I
bad
barely
shot.
got it up to the green on there, and I had to account for, like, putting as much spin as possible as I had. That's a natural drive for him, probably with barely any spin. And he's got these putts,
You might
man.
want to work on that putting game.
Absolutely atrocious.
Don't worry
It's like
about
he
thinking
sneezed or
this,
something
just
when he
get
hit
it
the ball
close.
and it goes another, like, 40 degrees away. 5-1 long. That's fantastic because that's just straight in. That's straight in at a distance. And I can't say no to that. Sunk like a battleship. For 50 feet. And birdie. Not looking so good for Reginald now.
This hole normally plays into the prevailing breeze. It requires a good drive and then a layup shot short of the wetland fronting the green, followed by a pitch shot onto the green. Only the very long hitters will be able to reach this green in 2.
This is the hole I was talking about earlier. It's very difficult because you can get your good drive on the beginning. It'll get you 200, 300 yards, 270 to 300 yards. That's fine. But when you get, your drive done, you've still got to clear the water. And that water is no joke. It takes some careful playing to get over that, and also planning of your strokes very well. From what I remember, Reginald doesn't even make it to this.
I like the looks of this one. It's just fine.
See, if he was ahead, he would have no... See, look at that. He would have no problem getting it over the water and onto the green.
At 260 yards, this is not an easy shot.
No, you're absolutely right about that, McCord.
Yeah, that's 250 yards away just to get on the green. Barely. So what I end up doing is I'm not going to get there in 2. So I need to get there in 3. It's a par 5, so it accounts for that. Get as close as I can to the edge of that rough, but not in the water. I swear, I don't think I've ever yelled as hard as I have ever since Neo Turf Masters, when I nailed the water hazard 4 times in a row and I had to skip the hole. I lost so hard on that, and I really had to stop and consider what I was doing. Reginald, you do that all the time. I make 140 yards, you have to make 145.
David, what do you see?
Maybe just about 110 yards to the flag.
Now the wind's behind us on this one, which is great. That'll get me on the hole and to the hole in
You can pull
4.
a groin, you stop your swing that fast.
And here we have again those fantastic, do I want to get a 100% shot, but it comes up slightly shorter than I anticipate, or do I want to have like a 2/3 shot and I have to really start planning out my drive?
It looks like it'll find the rough.
Sadly though, I end up in the rough. Well, it's not too bad of a rough. I'll be able to putt from there.
He's got this going right at it. What a shot,
God,
David.
if I was under beforehand and he gets a lie like that on a hole like this, I'd be freaking shaking in my boots. We got a nice... Here we go. Oh! Hell yeah, look at that. Nice titserific chip in.
This to have the hole. Bravo! That's a well-played birdie.
I think this one's a tie. Yeah, it's a
The tee
tie.
shot requires accuracy to stay out of the fairway bunkers. The best angle into this very small green is from the right-hand side. Only the most accurate pitch shot will set the golfer up for a par or a birdie.
This isn't too difficult of a hole, but regardless, it's still one to plan for. There's 4 bunkers right there off the first drive, so you cannot hit it short. If there was a headwind going against the ball, I would have just essentially hit that first bunker right there on the left.
Not a terribly long shot, but this will do.
It demands a lot. 279 yard drive. Hopefully I can one day upgrade my stats enough to get a 300 yarder. Because at 300 I'll be able to just hit it right off the tee and get pretty much clear 50% of the
Right where
course
it's
right then
supposed
and
to
there.
be. Down in the middle.
There he does. 280. 280 yards. Reginald, you dog. Let's see, I go for a pitching wedge here for 57%. Thankfully, these greens in fairway are slow, so I can nail it on the side of a hill and not have to worry about it rolling back. Because I'm in for birdie now. That may be a chip in, but you know,
I think this is heading
like
for
you
the
saw,
green.
I got 2 holes where I'd chip in and get a birdie. It's absolute slaughter. All Reginald can do is just watch as his
Putting
world crumbles
for the
before
match.
him. His empire of dirt lay in ruins.
This one could be tricky.
Because I know how much this is for the match. I'm sitting there like my supercomputer of a brain is activating and calculating every single situation possible just for a single putt.
What a shot!
And I totally bury this man along with his dead plants and his dead country. Greg Coomer has taken another. Now that was a good match. Now we get to see our nice total roundup over here. And it was actually a very good match on that one. I think I got a pretty good amount of money. But also now they get to tell me about the tiger proofing system. That's something I'll have to get into later on. That was a fun round. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next time when we take on, well, I guess whoever the next character will be. I'll see you then.